What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today we're going to be going over how to get the Froggy Armor in Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The Froggy Armor is one of the brand new sets of armor that introduces a brand new ability, which is slip resistance. However, it is a 12-part quest that you have to do after initiating the quest. I'm going to quickly be going over all 12 parts of it because it requires you to go to 12 different places, actually more than 12 places, but we'll get to that. Now, admittedly, this is a little bit of a long video because I'm going to be covering all 12 side adventures that are associated with their stables. So, in order to make sure that you have or have not done these associated quests, I would highly recommend that while in game, you're just going to go to your adventure log, and as I'm going through these quests, you're going to be able to look at your side adventures for the ones that you completed. Like when you see, hey, this one is the all-clucking Cucco, you're like, oh, well, I already did that one. I don't need to watch that part. Feel free to skip around. It's going to be in mostly alphabetical order, except for the two that I covered already previously in videos that most likely everyone has already done. And as far as when you are awarded the 3 individual pieces, my first time going around, I got it at number 4, number 8, and number 12. However, this time that I used for recording, it happened at number 4, number 9, and number 12. So I've personally had some inconsistency, and I can't tell you exactly why, but I do know that completing all 12 gets you all 3 pieces. All of these 12 parts are actually going to be their own individual side quests, and they're all going to be labeled down below at the chapters. All of them start at a specific stable, so at that specific stable is how I'm going to be labeling these, and then the quest afterward. In order to start off this quest, you need to make your way over to the Lucky Clover Gazette and speak to the editor there. At that point, she's going to be saying, hey, go around and find stories about Princess Zelda at the various stables with you and your partner. Okay, cool. And I would like to briefly recap ones that I have already covered in different videos, including starting at the Snowfield stable, which is required to get Zelda's golden horse. You're going to make your way from the Snowfield stable, and then in the North Tabantha Snowfield over here, you're going to be finding a golden horse. There's also going to be a frost gleeok that you actually don't have to engage with. After you land on the golden horse, all you have to do is make your way back to the Snowfield stable, speak to Pen, and you're going to get your reward. If this is one of your first 3, then it's going to be 50 rupees. I've also previously covered the Woodland stable, which is required to set the Great Fairy quests in order. After making your way to the Woodland stable, you're going to have to put together Beezer, which is the cart for the musician. At that point, you're then going to have to bring the people up to the Great Fairy Fountain, and then Violin is going to be playing a song for her. Once she's all done, you're going to be getting yourself 50 rupees if it's one of your first 3. And now making my way into ones that I haven't covered in previous videos, starting in alphabetical order here at Dueling Peak Stable. For all of these quests, it's going to require you to find Pen, and specifically here at Dueling Peaks, Pen is going to be located on top of the stable. You may have not realized that he was up there. Hi, Pen. This is saying that Princess Zelda was kidnapped, and the Yiga told the newspaper about it. So now you're tasked with finding where Princess Zelda is. And this is going to be the quest Princess Zelda Kidnapped. From here, you're going to need to make your way all the way to the top of Dueling Peaks to about right there is where we're going to have to make our way to. Upon making your way to that location, I told you there's going to be some torches that are visible, and there's going to be a cage over here. This cage has Princess Zelda inside of it. Congratulations, you just beat the game. It's Princess Zelda. Yay, we saved Princess Zelda! Only a valiant gold-haired knight known as Link could have moved such a sturdy cage like that. Alright everybody, this is definitely the golden-haired golden boy, get him. Oh no, it's not Princess Zelda, it's the Yiga. What a surprise, who could have foreseen this? Out here you're gonna have to deal with 3 Yiga foot soldiers. They're fairly easy to deal with, except for when they get the jump on you, just annoying. Good job, Tulin. Just keep moving and grooving, knocking them out. Upon finally beating the Yiga foot soldiers, they are going to bounce, and your partner Pen is just going to land next to you because he's a bird and he could do that. So for some reason, he decided to stay on the ground though. And because this is one of your first 4, you may get yourself a purple rupee. Number 4, I'm going to be making my way to the Foothill Stable, which is located right below Death Mountain. Death Mountain's up here. Here is the Foothill Stable. I have a shrine nearby. Here at the Foothill Stable, let's go over here and talk to Pen, who's talking about all of the men in their underpants, saying that Princess Zelda came here and said, hey, you guys need to go fight in your underwear. This one is called 4-Hour Princess, and it's going to require you to make your way on over here. Upon making your way to the destination, you're going to realize that this is a monster encampment. Drant is going to be here along with Sango. You say, what's going on? And this is similar to how you do those shrines that takes off all your clothes and says, hey, now you gotta defeat them in your underwear. They basically say, hey, go on in there and just be naked and go for it. This can be a little rough because these enemies can get the better of you. I essentially have 2 objectives. Objective number 1 is get this spear away from the moblin, and objective number 2 is fuse it to something big and hard. So I got the soldier spear. I'm gonna grab these little bit of foods that are over here. And now there's gonna be an armored bokoblin over here who's gonna be such a pain to deal with. Right there he is. So I'm gonna use fuse to this boulder, and from here, all of this just becomes so much easier. If this moblin gets this spear, you're gonna have a bad time. Because now using this, you can break through the defenses of the bokoblins who have the shields. For the moblin, you can stagger him. And even if you're not going to be playing defensively with doing time jumps and everything, like the flurry rushes like this, you can still get the upper hand. Granted, if you could do flurry rushes, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Oh, shout out to the earthquake technique. Pfft, totally forgot I had that right now. Which, if you're not familiar, you get that for the Yiga clan quest line. So I made a video on how to get the Yiga armor. You might want to check that out. Completely forgot about it till just now. And then all that's left is this one archer. GG easy. Let's head back to the front of the cave. I actually beat them. What? Wearing only your underpants? Okay, meet us back at Foothill Stable. They're gonna return all your clothes, and let's head back to Foothill Stable. You'll notice that everyone is gathered around. Speak to Pen. And Leisha is gonna say, excuse me, why is everyone wearing only their underpants? And they're gonna say that she said, go explore in underpants. And she's gonna say, no, what she really said was explore all other paths. So yeah, that was a lack of communication right there. For me, this was my 4th one, so I get myself a purple rupee and my first piece of Froggy armor, the Froggy sleeve. It doesn't matter which 4 you did first, you may get your Froggy sleeve after your 4th one. So if this is your 4th, great. Otherwise, you may have gotten it already. Our next stable we need to make our way to is gonna be here in Gerudo Canyon. I actually didn't visit this one yet. If you haven't been here yet, there's a whole bunch of boxes that you can break that are going to get you a whole bunch of arrows in here. However, we actually need to go speak to Pen, who's next to the well over here, who's going to be talking about the blocked well. So let's head inside of the Gerudo Canyon well right here. And you're going to notice that there's a whole bunch of rocks. Go ahead, destroy the rocks. And there's some enemies inside. Take out the enemy encampment. Upon taking out the last of them, Pen is going to say, hey, you done? He's gonna ask what you found in the well. You're gonna tell him that you found a whole bunch of monsters, and then you say, good job. If this is your 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th one, you're gonna get 100 silver rubies, which is pretty nice. Just a little pro tip. There's some good mushrooms in there. You probably wanna make your way back. Plus, you may have not had a chance to get all the enemy drops, and you may wanna go do that. Like, I know there's one hardy truffle in the middle. There's a hardy lizard who likes to hang out in here, and I scared him away. Chill shrooms. The 6th stable I'm going to make my way to is over here at the Highland stable. Here at the Highland stable, you may have already done the quest with Piper. That is not going to be the quest for Pen. Pen is going to be hanging out over here, and he's saying the princess's voice, which is going to give you the side adventure, an eerie voice. However, you have to do this quest when night falls. Feel free to sleep next to the cooking pot or talk to Paddock over here to make it nighttime. Once it's nighttime, speak to Pen, say, let's go, partner. And he's acting like this quest is so far away, but dude just went like 40 feet over there. At this point, you're gonna be hearing some creepy well sounds, and you wanna start walking toward these 2 trees. And as you get closer, you're gonna be hearing the message more and more clearly. Leave the arms, if you don't, do you harm, something like that. Up down here, Seek the storm, fear it not, you will stay warm. It turns out there's just someone who's down here and singing. But everyone thought that she was saying, we're gonna do you harm. But no, that's not the lyrics. After that, Pen's gonna pull you out of the well. He's gonna realize it was just a girl singing, and that's gonna investigate that. This is my 6th one for 100 rupees. Very nice. And that's an Eerie voice complete. By the way, hopping down here, you may have seen there's a giant boomerang, a blue moblin spasher, a blue moblin pulverizer. Like these are not bad weapons, especially for like early game. Okay, we actually have 3 stables in a row that do not have a quest, including the Lakeside stable, which does not have a quest. Lookout Landing has a mini stable inside of here that there is a quest, but it's not related to Princess Zelda. Same thing with the mini stable over here next to the Great Plateau. Those 3 do not have any quests whatsoever. Next, we're gonna make our way to the new Serene stable, which is right here. And Pen is gonna be talking about horrible, scary creatures. But actually, they're going to be talking about Dondons, and that's the quest, the Beast and the Princess. Now, if you've already made your way to the Lakeside Stable, which was right here, you could have spoken to a girl right here about Dondons. I think you have to speak to the girl and then speak to Pen again, and then he's going to ask you to come back and meet you back over here. I think that's how the order goes. Although I'll be honest, and every time that I've done this, I've already seen the Dondons before I talk to Pen here, so I'm sorry that I don't know the exact order on who you have to speak to where, but the quest will actually tell you what to do, and I told you what to do, and now you know what to do. So we just go ahead and make our way over to the quest marker, which is going to be the girl over here with the Dondons, which, as I've covered, is a horrible, horrible way to try to get money in gems. Great. For me, that was a silver rupee because it was my 5th, 6th, or 7th, and then I get a bonus for a red rupee. Nice. From here, we're going to be making our way to the Outskirt stable, which is located right here, just north of the Great Plateau. Here at the Outskirt stable, we're going to find Pen saying, "This is strange." And apparently, over ahead at the 3-way intersection, a woman came up to a guy who said, "My yellow friend is in danger," or something else like that. And that's going to be the side adventure, The Beckoning Woman. Feel free to grab a horse or make an ATV, or if you have a sled shield, you could probably just get down there lickety-split. My friend, you have to save her. Blonde hair. My poor regal friend's life is in danger, and she's kind of hinting at it being Zelda. And then she's going to put you on this whole weird multi-point quest that requires you to go to several different places, and she seems way too happy that you're going to be helping her. I recommend putting the quest marker on because it's going to be telling you the exact locations that you have to go to. You ever notice the Aracudas perch to a wall at nighttime as soon as they spawn in? I think that's pretty neat. Unless they hear you, because apparently one hears me. Just make our way over to her again. I was overtaken by my concern for my friend. She is resting safely out of sight. She then tasks you with going to the top of that cliff. Once you make your way to the top of the cliff, you're going to wonder how she got up here so quickly. And she tells you to go and fly across the chasm to the debris on the opposite cliff. I'm getting tired of chasing this woman. Oh, good. Hey, surprise, it's the Yiga clan. That dude just spawned into my radius. Go ahead and take care of them nice and swiftly. For me, that was the 8th story relating to Princess Zelda, so I'm gonna get myself 100 rupees, and as my bonus, 20 rupees. That's weird, because last time, after my 8th one, I got my 2nd piece of Froggy Armor, so I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I have no idea. Anyways, we're gonna go to our next one, which is gonna be Riverside Stable, which is right here at Hyrule Field. And I feel so bad every time I bother his little birds hanging around him. This is going to be talking about Goddard saying that he's waiting for people to show up and he was going to make food for them. Let's go ahead and speak with Goddard. He says, "Hey, I'm extremely worried. People are supposed to come over that bridge. They probably set up tents and you need to go over there and look for the tents." Which is going to be located right here, right across the river from where the stable was located previously. And if you speak to one of the guys here, they're talking about them being in pain. They actually have food poisoning. If you read the journal, they need raw meat, Hylian rice, and rock salt. So now you're tasked with cooking that for them. Unfortunately, this is underneath rain right now. Good thing we have a portable pot. You need to get yourself Hylian rice, rock salt, and 1 raw meat. I think the problem is they use monster parts instead of meat. And that's a meat and rice bowl, and then just speak to any of them. Hand over the meal. And somehow, my meat and rice bowl helps their food poisoning that happened from a dubious food meat and rice bowl. I don't know exactly how that works. And you get a Hylian rice as a reward, and a rock salt as a reward, and a raw gourmet meat as a reward. So if you use cheap meat, this is actually a profit. From here, Pen is going to be showing up, saying, hey, good job doing that. For me, this was my 9th, so I get 100 rupees. And now, finally, the Froggy leggings. I thought it was on the 8th. Now we're going to be making our way to the South Akkala stable, which I did not unlock, but I know it's going to be right there in Akkala. Here we're going to be finding Pen saying a prophecy. Is going to be talking to you about and giving you the side adventure about the all-clucking Cucco. Be sure to get it well. You're going to see some travelers, including a big fan of CC's over here, talking about this Cucco. Lonnie's not going to believe about the Cucco, and then you got to speak to it. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Thy name, what is thy name? Ah, I sense it. You are Link, and you are searching for someone. Ah, yes, Princess Zelda. Bro, that's very accurate. I know all. And what I know is that you will face trials that will reveal much to you. So, will you take these trials? I will try it. Cluck, cluck, very well. The first trial is, get to the top of that stable's head within the time limit. Walk, run, fly, whatever it takes. Ready yourself, cluck, cluck. Yeah, and then you have 45 seconds to get up there, which honestly, not a lot of time. I'm gonna go ahead, fuse a rocket to my shield, use it as a rocket shield. Because I don't want to have to climb up this because it's cumbersome to climb up, so I don't want to do that. Cluck, cluck, you finished. Good job with the trial. I'd say I'm impressed, but I already knew that was going to happen, so... Bro, this text is great. Thou, yes, thou, ready to face the next trial, only if thou overcome it. Will thou find what thou seeketh? So are you going to try it or what? I'll try it. Cluck, cluck, very well. The second trial is... bring 3 logs here within the time limit. That's the quest. Bring 3 logs. So, if you look over to the left, there's 3 trees. I'm just going to take out the Master Sword. Chop down the trees. Now, specifically logs, not... piles of wood, so after you break down the tree, don't actually cut it down once again. From here, I like to just take the log, and I'm going to attach it to the other log, and I'm going to take the third one, and I'm going to attach it to that. From here, I'm going to take all 3, I'm going to rotate it up, climb up the mountainside. If it started to roll away, I could just use recall. Wait till it's in range. Grab it. Bring it over to this chicken. Break them apart, and then as you break them apart, it registers as you being finished. After this point, he's gonna say, you actually fell for this? Which, yeah, it's a Yiga clan guy, which apparently they can just be anything they want to be now, including Cuccos. I also knew it was gonna be a Yiga clan member, so I made myself a better spear. We'll let you off easy for now, but don't get used to it. We won't hold back next time. Be prepared. Tell Pen what was going on. For me, this was my 10th, and 100 rupees are mine. And a bonus of 50. Very nice. Bye. Next, we're going to be making our way to the Tabantha Bridge stable located over here on the left of the map. Now we're going to be finding Pen, who says, I smell a story. A story about white goats that gone missing. We're going to speak to Chork over here, which sounds like just a generic fat name that they could possibly come up with. Chork. And now, here's the thing. There's going to be Hylian pine cones that are going to be all over the ground in a trail. You need to go ahead and follow this trail of Hylian pine cones. You don't have to pick up the pine cones. I want to pick up the pine cones, though, so I'm going to pick up the pine cones. And you can't stop me. Even though I know where this leads, and it would save, you know, a few seconds... I'm still just gonna go pick up these pine cones. Pine cones. Pine cone? Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone? Pine cone. Pine cone? Pine cone? Pine cone. Following the trail of pine cones, you're gonna be finding the white sheep and a message in a bottle. And then Chork is supposedly following you because then he's just instantly here. And he's like, hey, this is Princess Zelda's recipe. That was the food for these white goats. And it says, wait, don't give them whole pine cones, but instead mash up the pine cones? Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Pen's gonna show up. You're gonna give him a synopsis of everything that happened. For me, this was number 11. 100 rupees are mine. And my bonus is another 100 rupees. Thank you very much. For our very last one, we're going to be making our way to the Wetland stable, which is just to the right of Lookout Landing. Pen says this could be a huge story. Well, okay. What's going on? Oh, the missing farm tools. Okay, we're going to go ahead and head down here to the river. Speak to this gentleman. You saw the princess? I was wondering when you guys would show up. Yeah, our farm tools are down here. They went to the sandbar. I know I can make it there with my raft. Now, there is all of the supplies you need right here to build up a raft, including a controller, a fan, and because the game doesn't know how big your battery is when you come here, here is a battery if you want to use it. Let's speak with him again. I could take you. He's going to remind you to cut the rope before you set off, so make sure you cut the rope, and now let's control. This is going to be a very slow trip, so yeah, careful at the river bend. Like, I don't know how to make a boat. Bro, this is literally just logs and planks. You call this a boat? And I'm not going to narrate this whole thing. He's going to tell you where to go. Just go there. Oh. You did a great job getting us here. Pen is going to show up. Huh? And it's Magda, the Don't Step on the Flowers lady from Breath of the Wild. You were wondering when she was gonna show up. Well, here she is. Back on the exact same island that you left her on, saying that she's using these farm tools to help plant flowers. And Isra, I think, is gonna stay here and continue to help plant flowers. I think that's the story here. And there we go. Great job, right, Pen? Yeah, this was all 12 of them, and you get a gold rupee. And for your final reward, you have to go back to the Gazette. Making your way over to the Lucky Clover Gazette, let's go speak with the editor, who says, congratulations, you earned the Froggy Hood. And that's Potential Princess Sightings complete, as well as all 12 side adventures. You're welcome. Okay, let's go run some stats. Okay, let's talk numbers and upgrades. Like most utility armor, especially like the climbing armor, I don't really plan on getting this past this set bonus. But just to let you know, as far as the upgrades, level 1 for all 3 pieces is just 1 sticky lizard. Level 2 is 5 Horriblin fangs and 5 sticky lizards. That's it. Extremely cheap to upgrade, to the point that there's probably not a reason to not upgrade it. Granted, it's not very defensive armor, but it's alright. Level 3 is going to be 5 blue Horriblin fangs and 5 sticky frogs. The frogs are a lot more rare than the lizards are, although I know you can get them right outside of both entrances of Kakariko Village. And then for the final level is going to be 5 black Horriblin horns, 10 Horriblin guts, and 10 opal. So it's going to be a little bit pricier for that final level. But honestly, I don't see why you would really need to get it past level 2. So every single one of these pieces is going to give you 1 level of slip resistance. And slip resistance is going to make it so that you could go up wet surfaces in the rain and also frozen surfaces of ice walls. Okay, my test results were wildly inconclusive on this, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact of the way that the wind is blowing, so maybe not all of this rock surface is actually going to be considered wet. I need to find another rock surface and then climb that, and then compare results. Alright, so I've done some math, and regular Link can grab up a wet surface, and there's a wildly inconsistent amount that he can grab anything past the original 6. And it does seem like every level is going to give you an additional 100% slip resistance. So meaning that you could originally do 6 grabs and then you slide without any on, but having 1 piece equipped, or level 1, is going to give you 12 grabs, so an additional 100%. Having 2 pieces on is going to give you 18 grabs before you slip, or 300%. Having all 3 levels on is going to give you 24 grabs, or a total 400% off of the base, an additional 300%. So it seems like every additional level of slip resistance you have gives you an entire another 6 grabs. The only time that that's not consistent at all has to do with ice, which having level 3 gives you 6 grabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, on the 6th you fall. But then every 1 piece less is 1 grab less. 4, 5, and then you slip. The fact that for a minimal amount of supplies to upgrade at a Great Fairy makes it so that you never have to count or worry ever again if you have all 3 pieces on. 100% upgrade this to level 2. Anything past that is going to be frivolous. So upgrade it now, upgrade it for cheap, do it. Well, anyways, guys, let me know if you found this information helpful on how to get the Froggy Armor and all 12 stable quests associated with it. If you did, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, turning on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.